Hello and welcome to Joyful, the podcast that will help you live a more joyful life. I'm your host, Chloe Markham, and it's my mission to help you find more joy every single day. This podcast is a deep dive into ways to reduce your stress, your overwhelm, anxiety, and that voice in your head that tells you you're not good enough, whilst also diving into the methods, philosophies, and protocols that help us live more connected, grounded, and ultimately happier lives. This is about living life on purpose. Without any further ado, let's dive into today's episode. Hello, my friend. Welcome to another episode of Joyful with me, Chloe. I am so glad you're here. And before we dive into today's episode, all about morning routines, let's take a breath in. Pause, give yourself a wiggle, and breathe out. Take another breath or two. How are you doing? Really, how are you feeling? Feel the tension, it's all good. Feel the goodness, it's all good. I hope you're doing okay. It's a big topic, morning routines. But I want to dive into them because, morning routines have been part of my routine for a long time. And it's taken me a long time to figure out the routine. And this is going to be different for everybody. But working with my clients and people inside my membership and having conversations with people about this, I realise in a similar way to the yoga practice, it isn't a one-size-fits-all. But what if you had one of those magic gloves? Do you remember them? I think you could get them on you maybe still can, market stores. I used to have them as a kid and it would be like a tiny little glove, but they would fit you. They were a one-size-fits-all glove. What am I saying? Really what I'm saying is in our yoga practice and in our morning routine, we can create a kind of foundation from which any level, any type of person can craft their experience on to make it beautiful. And what I want to share with you in this episode today is the foundation of the morning routine that I have discovered that works the best for so many different people. And when I mean works the best, what I really mean is that this makes for the best kind of days. This puts us in the right frame of mind and gives us the warm and fuzzies. And there really, really, really is no better way to start a day, in case you needed convincing. And I also want to preface this by saying you don't need to get up at 5. You don't need to get up before midday, if that's your jam and your lifestyle. This is about, like I said, the bones, the foundations, and you do what you want with them, right? The idea of morning routines can feel a bit much, right? Get up at 5, we meditate for 30 minutes, do an hour-long yoga class, journal until your hand goes numb, and it becomes so intense, and you read and listen to so much information about the perfect morning routine that it puts us off. I know it does for me. I get so overwhelmed by quote-unquote perfect, these kind of binary ideas of what is good and what is bad. But whilst morning routines are, like I've said, one of the best things to shift your mindset and get you feeling positive and grounded, making it so bloody structured can feel overwhelming. You'll be less excited by it, less inclined to do it, and it'll probably cause more damage in the long run in terms of your routines and habits than good. And I've spoken before about flexibility with habits, right? So listen to that if you haven't already, because I think, letting go of binary good and bad when it comes to habits, when it comes to anything really, but let's just make it in terms of habits right now. Letting go of that is probably the key to having beautiful habits that really serve us, right? All right. Let's dive into this easygoing foundational place to start your day. And the foundation that I'm building my foundation on is based on Hal Elrod's Savers, And I'll go through that, and I'm going to tell you what I want to add to that and what I think you should add or whatever. You'll see what I mean. Okay, so if you're unfamiliar, Hal Elrod wrote a book called... Do you know what? I haven't even read the fucking thing. I've got this from my coach, and it doesn't matter. You don't need to read the book. Read it if you feel inclined. I can't remember the name of it, but the guy's called Hal Elrod, right? H-A-L, Hal Elrod. And this is called Savers. So here's how it works, real quick, right? Savers is an acronym for, number 1, S, silence. Start your day in silence. And this doesn't mean a 30-minute meditation unless that's what you're feeling like. Just a little moment in quiet. So for me, sometimes instead of meditating, which I often do, because I'm, really good at this. No, I'm kidding. It's like, if that feels good for you, meditate. If it doesn't, sack it off. But maybe it's like really noticing what it feels like to stand on your carpet. Like, close your eyes and be like, oh my God, the carpet on my toes. Or visually looking at something. It can take 10 seconds. It can take 30 minutes if you want it to take 30 minutes. Okay, so that's number 1. Silence. Notice. Feel, breathe, be. Be in silence with yourself and with the morning and the magic that it contains. The A in Savers, so the next step, and we do these in order, so it says Hal, is affirmations. And I've been reading about this lately. There is this idea that you can go and be like, I'm amazing and today's a brilliant day and all of that. And sure, these can they can work, right? If you don't find them super cheesy. But I was reading recently about what psychologists have discovered in terms of affirmations is actually by asking ourselves if we can do it, we prime ourselves in a much bigger way. So things like, what could it be? Can I go for a run today? If that's your jam. I hate running, but whatever. It's the first thing that came to mind. Asking, can I do whatever it is, actually puts you in the mindset of looking at all the things that say that you can do it, and makes you think about the motivations you have for doing it in the first place. What a better way to start the day than by taking a look at all of our best qualities and abilities and restating our motivations to ourselves, and all because of a simple question. So you can go with the whole I'm amazing kind of affirmations, and great, do that if that's you, or ask, can I do this thing that I'm gunning for today? Just a little mindset thing. I'm going to come back to this stuff in a moment. Going back to Savers, number 3 is the V, visualization. It's a really obvious one. Visualize things going well. It could just be the day ahead of you, a meeting or something big coming up. Or maybe it's a bigger goal that you're working towards. Now, again, with all of it, don't overcomplicate it. Just take a few seconds to picture how you want it to go, whatever it is. What would the best outcome look like? And then feel that. Like, if your goal is to buy a new car this year, feel it. What is it like to have the keys sat on your desk right now, or the car out on your drive, or whatever? How does that feel? Again, science tells us by visualizing success or strength or confidence, we actually prime ourselves to be those things. All right, let's move on. Number 4, E, Savers, E, exercise. Simple, just get your body moving. This doesn't need to be like you're breaking a sweat for hours and hours. It doesn't need to be anything, really. What do you want it to be? Sometimes for me, I'm doing a yoga class or a Pilates session, or I'm doing a 30-minute weighted workout. Sometimes it's 10 minutes of dancing around to my favourite Spotify tunes, whatever. Get your blood pumping. That is what this mission is. Number 4, exercise. Just get your blood pumping, get your heart pumping. Not only is it massively energizing, it helps us with the next step. So 5 savers are: take a minute to read something brilliant. Often we want to crowbar, and I do this all the time, crowbar non-fiction, right? It has to be about like building my business or being better at my job in some way. But sometimes that feels like homework. So again, these are the foundations, right? Read something you love, read something that's inspiring in some way, And don't make it feel like homework. And make it 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever. And because you got your blood pumping in step 4, you're way more likely to engage with your reading in a better way. And then to finish this off, S is for scribing, which obviously is a really odd word, but we're just writing here, and it's one of my favourite things to do. I have an app on my phone where I just write 500 words, or I try to, and fail, and that's okay. Every day, every morning, and I write how I'm feeling, and everyone's different, and for me, writing how I'm feeling is such a great way to process it. Maybe for you, you're writing about the chapter you just read, or the day coming up, or what emotions are happening for you, the stories you're telling yourself, what you're excited about, what you're grateful for. It's always a good one to add here. And just write for 5 minutes, for 20 minutes. These are the foundations, right? Let me run through them again. So we're going for savers. Number 1 is silence. Number 2 is affirmations. Then we do our visualization. Then we exercise. Then we read. Then we scribe or write. Now, couple things. I've spoken about this before, like I said, about flexible habits, right? What's magical about this savers routine is when I am pressed for time, when I am completely low in energy and I do not feel like it, this takes me 10 minutes. And when I have loads of time and loads of energy, this can take me 40 minutes, 50 minutes, an hour, longer. But my point is, whether you do it for 5-10 minutes or over an hour, the result is almost the same thing. And I say almost because you're obviously going to get more from doing a big workout and doing all of these things. But if you don't have the energy for that in the first place, it's not going to make any difference. Do a little bit, do a tiny little nugget of this, do a mini savers, and you're going to be in a completely different headspace to when you started it. Now, I want to kind of caveat all of this. I've gone through the foundation. That is the foundation. And I don't mean caveat really. I mean, I want to add on. The days where I'm like, I do not want to. I found the most magical thing to get me going, and more often than not, this leads me into doing some sort of workout or some sort of yoga practice, or not. It gets me feeling bright and shiny regardless, and that is music. Savers doesn't have an M in it, and I'm sad it doesn't have an M in it, because I have found listening to music in the morning to be the most, I use this word a lot and I mean it, profound things I can do for my energy and my mood and the way that I'm feeling. So normally I have headphones. I just chuck on my day list. So if you're a Spotify user, you might have seen it. I don't know what it does, but it says you normally listen to this on a morning. Or I'll put my playlist, the Morning Wiggle playlist, in the show notes. This is just like fun music that you love. It doesn't have to be any particular genre, right? It's as easy as put on your favourite music and listen to it through good headphones and just dance like an idiot for 2 minutes, just for the length of one song. That's all you got to do. And normally what happens is, by the end of that one song, you'll feel way more pumped to do a second song, or to do a yoga workout, or to put your fucking trousers on and to take a shower. Like, sometimes getting dressed and taking a shower are really, really, really big deals. And, music can help you get there, like, regardless of what your energy is. And I also wanted to share with you something else that kind of goes in the affirmations visualization section that I found so wonderful lately. And this is for anyone who's got big goals and you're feeling a little behind on those goals, you're feeling frustrated, you're feeling pressured or stuck. Write yourself a letter from 100 days from now. And in that letter, write, I am so amazed. I'm so grateful. I am so glad. These are the things that have worked out. This is the way that I'm feeling right now. and read yourself that letter every morning. So that's my routine. I take my day, I start it with silence, I read my 100 days letter, which just primes me for the goals that I want to reach in 100 days. So within that, I am kind of counting, they're my affirmations and that's my visualization. Then I stick on my tunes. So we can go with Hal Elrod's Savers, and that is the best foundation. Add to it, take away from it, whatever. If you want to do Chloe Markham's Savers, it's actually silence, 100-day letter, music, exercise, reading and writing. And again, take 5 minutes. Take 50 minutes. Like, let this fit into your life, into your world, into the context of, you know, how you run your days. And no more can we think, well, I have to get up at 5. I don't have 30 minutes in the morning, so I can't do a morning routine. Like, this is for everybody. And like I said at the beginning, yoga's the same, right? And if you hear people saying a morning routine only counts if it's for this length of time, or you get up at this time of day, or yoga only works for this type of body or this type of person, or la la la, like, and you know, you can put that on anything, any topic, anything that you read about or feel inclined to do. You don't have to fit into the mold to do the thing. Let's be revolutionary in the way that we do this stuff. And if you can tap in and listen to my episode on interoception, if you can tap in and learn to notice how you're feeling, then we get to take these tools and make them our own in much bigger, better ways, right? But it starts with learning to notice how we're feeling. And that's where my music thing came from and my 100-day letter came from. And I really hope that you get some magic out of that, as much magic as I get out of it. Let me know, drop me a comment, send me an email, chloe@theyogarevolution.co.uk. I would love to hear if you try this morning routine magic and if it gives you some magic. Yeah. Thank you for tuning in, and so much love. Good luck on your mornings, and I'll speak to you really soon. Thank you so much for listening, my friend. I hope you're feeling sparkly and inspired to live a more joyful life. Make sure to subscribe to the podcast, leave me a rating. These things are invaluable to me, and share it with people who need it. This is about inspiring more people to be more connected and lead happier and more joyful lives. Join my inner circle for more inspiration. Learn more at the website theyogarevolution.co.uk and chloemarkham.co.uk. I'll see you in the next episode.